We're about to lose one. Get the intruder.
Copy. We're almost there.
Security breach.
Attacking the area.
Security breach.
Shit, I've got movement. Where? Everywhere. Contact!
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to a little more Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist Spies vs. Mercs multiplayer action. I am your host for the evening and forevermore, Wyatt Hertz. Good to have you here. We're playing some SvM Blacklist game mode. It is the Virus Vault, one of my favorite maps. Probably my favorite map. You can see I'm donning that elite overcharge suit right now. I'll tell you, I'd like to do a full suit rundown, but we're going to get right into the action here. The action on the spy side of things is pretty intense for a lot of the round, but hopefully I'll be able to do a full suit rundown when I get a moment, Anyway, you can see myself in Invictus Supreme. We've both moved in the area. Our two teammates hit up the C terminal while we were over here on the helipad, and that was beautiful. Invictus, he's also wearing the overcharge suit. Looks like it's just a standard one, but he triggered an overcharge. I triggered my overcharge, and that poor guy in the middle, stuck in the middle. Goddamn. He had it coming from both ends there. Invictus's overcharge blew up his mines and did a severe amount of damage to the Merc. By the time I had him in my sights, he only had the one bar left and was pretty easy pickings at that point. Anyway, I make a pretty quick run over here. I started to slow things down as I moved into the area, but when I saw, Mayuda there fall, I knew it was only Fisher left. I had to come in and at least play a distraction, which I do. Right out of the gate, Gunnut comes in. I keep him guessing as I put a little fire his way. Allows Fisher to go in for the slice and dice, and then I just follow it up with a little more fire, explosive. I put some fire into explosive, then into respawning Taylor John, and Fisher. Unfortunately, I only got the assist, but you know what? It was a great support. I played a great support role there, I have to admit. And then I moved in, with the room eradicated. Basically, the Mercs eradicated out of the C sector. I put up kind of a more of a wider perimeter, looking to keep them out at this point. But the Fisher did a great, fantastic job staying alive there as the hacker. I come in, I avenge Mayuda and Invictus Supreme. Both of them fall into some Gunnut action there as he did a little slicing and dicing on one and naded the other. But eventually, I fall to Taylor John, getting a little revenge on me after putting him down 2 times in a row. He does come back and he answers with a kill of his own, sends me packing. The Fisher at this point, only a few % left. He's got this in the bag, and you know what? I still have to go back to that. He played it really well, when it was like the 3 Mercs coming around the corner on that back control room, that he was hiding in. I played a pretty good job as a good support role. Was pelting them full of lead, was making them guess as to who was the hacker and who they should prioritize. But the Fisher did a great job staying alive. He made the right plays, got the slice and dice on the first man, and then posted up in the corner and was in there finishing off the other 2. So it was just great. And it, it showed. Great teamwork, and it showed because we brought in the full set of intel, And now we can move on to bigger and better things. Yes. I get a great little death from above on Taylor John, I've been sticking it to him pretty early on here, He's answered back once, but it's 3-1 at this point, in favor of, well, yours truly. And now I've got this hunt. I'm hunting down the Gunnut, putting a little spray in his back. I got a guy chasing me as well. And Mayuda, this worked out beautifully because Mayuda moved up here, and Gunnut dealt with him pretty quickly. Pretty sure Nut felt like he was safe at that point, but no, he wasn't. He still had old Hertz lurking in the shadows, and I strike with precision, with fervor. And then I had 2 guys tracking me, 2 more Mercs coming in behind me, and with a little, thunder and lightning, with a little dropping the flashbangs down, doing a little slicing and dicing. I got a few necks. I spilled a little blood, and I sent the bulk of their team, sent them packing to the next life. And that was a great death from above there by Invictus. I love the way he did the little wall run at the last second, for the kill from above, the death from in the skies, and unfortunately he just couldn't get it lined up there. I was trying to save his life. I put a lot of fire into the first man that was through that door as well. I think it was Gunnut, the guy that actually fell to the death from above. You see Gunnut coming back to life right there. He's going to give me some problems, He's had enough of my shenanigans over here. And he's looking to track me down. He baits me in nicely there. as he posts up at the door, puts a little fire my way. It's you know, that's the mark of a seasoned player. And here he comes. I should have known better. I knew he was going to come flying around that corner. You know, adrenaline jacked in as you see him leave in a goddamn flash. I don't know what the hell happened there. He must have caught a current or something. God damn, he was there like a bullet. Like a bullet. Anyway, he ends my little rampaging streak there. And actually, for the most part, it's Team Hertz this round against Team Gunnut. It was myself against him. We were the two big players, the two elites in the room. I don't know if guys have reset their stats, but I'm pretty sure there's been a real... I don't know, a real new surge of new blood in this game. There's been a lot of new players. So for the most part, it was me against the Nut. And the Nut was the guy keeping me in check, you know, or at least ending my rampages this round for the most part. There were a few other guys that were bringing in kills from time to time, but the Nut really was answering back when he had to, you know. Anyway, I played this pretty nicely. That was I don't know what he was doing there, whether he was getting ready to drop a mine or jack some adrenaline into his veins before he came around the corner. It was poor, or get a grenade out. I'm not sure. It looked like he was going to his utility belt, though, for something. I don't know what it was, though. You know, fishing through his pocket pants. Looking for a grenade. I don't know what was going on there. Maybe he lost his car keys, was looking to hightail it straight out of Dodge, because he knew he had old Hertz on his tail, you know. Anyway, I played it pretty nicely, stepping out on, and then stepping out right here. Beautiful slice and dice on Taylor John, as I spill his blood once again, and then blind explosive, circle around with the little, I don't know, crescent moon run, and get his neck as well, you know. So goddamn, pretty nice run. And I should mention the gun, as you see me pelt down this guest fellow one more time. And the gun was actually recommended to me by Nitro Drags, channel viewer. It's the SC400S. With of course, that comes with a built-in suppressor on it. Red dot sight on there, armor-piercing rounds, match-grade trigger, and the tuned recoil and accurized barrel. There we go. And I really was digging this gun. You know, its power and range had pretty average bars by the end of it, with all those modifications on there. And what was it? The accuracy, you know, slightly above average, and the control taking it a few bars further than that, you know. So I felt it really comfortable. I was ripping guys down pretty quickly, you know, with this weapon, and pretty solid build. I'd recommend that. Check that out, you know. So anyway, things have been shut down here in the B sector. Let me do a full loadout rundown. We've got the weapon, you know, the pistol I'm carrying is the 5.7. It is, of course, the Elite Overcharge suit. We've seen that in action already. Sonar goggles with the RFD disruption attached, or the infiltration helmet, as it's otherwise known. My takedown gloves, my pocket pants, yes, I get to say pocket pants several times this game, this video, and my running shoes, and a little more slicing and dicing on my nemesis. Old Gunnut, yes, old Gunnut. And I'm also carrying, well, we've seen them both come out as well, the flashbangs and the EMPs, you know. So I recommend this entire loadout. God damn, I was loving it. I was having a great time here, and I used it for a better part of this. Well, I didn't play a too long a session, but I used it for a better part of it, you know, and was really having a good time, like I said. Anyway, except for right there, what the hell? What the hell were Invictus and I doing? We got all tangled up. I could have sworn we tied our shoelaces in a goddamn knot. You know, my right foot and his left boot. You know, we tied our boots in our laces in a knot. Anyway, I don't know what we did there. We did a little crossover. I hate it on this map. It's pretty bad in some areas in this map where you're like you're shimmying on a ledge, like in the C sector. You know, on those little rafter things. You'll be shimmying along, and then all of a sudden you'll drop down a level when there's perfectly good ledge. You know. That's at the level that you were currently shimmying at, and often you'll expose yourself. I don't understand why it happens, you know. Goddamn filthy developers getting tricksy, you know. Anyway, here we go. It's Gunnut one more time, pistola in hand, on a full-on goddamn adrenaline sprint is what that was. I've no doubt. And he tries to save himself with a nut grenade at the end. And well, I think it did a little damage. I don't know. Did he get it out? I don't know. I sliced and diced him so quickly. Who's to say? Anyway, I did take a lot of fire, I think, coming in from that helipad. That was the cost of it. I got Gunnut's neck, but it cost me my life in the process. Anyway, we're coming down the final... Well, down to the final minute of this round. We've had a pretty good run as a team so far. I've had a pretty solid performance here. Just, I don't know, I've had some real furious moments, you know, where it was just, I unleashed some sort of demonic force under the virus falling. I was like a goddamn hurricane running through there, a tornado, a whirlwind of disaster. And yeah, I don't know. We're getting a little too descriptive. Let's just scale it back ever so slightly. I am only a mortal. Anyway, I get a quick little overcharge in here. I did hear the mines, the mines ticking away, beeping away, and I set up here nicely, the sonar coming into play, alerting me to old Gunnut rushing in a little bit too hastily, perhaps, and well, he tastes my cold steel one more time. Yes, he does. I've really been sticking it to him good. But he's been getting me. Again, he's the one out there that's supposed to be keeping me in check, and he was doing that this game. Anyway, and you see that SC400S coming into play yet again as I managed to chip down on Guest across a couple of bursts and finally do finish him off. And the team, just a fantastic job. We completely eradicate the charge, or we completely quell the charge coming in from the helipad, We put down all the mercs. It allows me the opportunity to reposition into somewhere where I felt like I was now in the backfield of this room from where they're going to be spawning from. I can cut off the lines of sight appropriately. It gives me a small window of opportunity, and hopefully the team, which they're not really doing here, they were all setting up for that back door. Nobody was really paying attention to the side door, and that's where the problem came flooding into the room. Now the team is split. They don't know what to do. I think bodies are being sent back, and souls are being snatched here, and the defensive measures that was my team is being broken down. As you can see, Gunnut, he came in. He was the one lone soldier, the lone merc, to come in that back door. He put down the Fisher. God damn it. As soon as the Fisher fell, well, it was all over. It was all over. Gunnut broke broke through our lines. I know, the thing with playing against Gunnut is I know he watches the videos, and he knows my locations, and I have to continue to try and swap things up enough, play a little bit differently when I'm playing against him, to try and give me a chance, because I know he'll be checking some of my more likely locations that he has seen in the videos. So, and eventually you just kind of run out of good locations, But anyway, there we go. Like I said, some big numbers here on the spy side of things. 18 and 6. Gunnut leading his team down to the bottom level. 5 defense for the man. 16 and 14. Pretty even Steven. He's going to wrap pretty even Steven with some big numbers at the end of this, and it made me laugh when I saw it. We'll wait until then. Anyway, let's get into the Merc action. Coming right out of the gate, I think I'm going to go right into the loadout rundown. I start this Merc round a little bit slowly, whereas the Spy round really did pick up, right out of the gate, So anyway, new weapon. Well, not a new weapon. It's just one we haven't seen here in several episodes. It is the ARX-160. You can see, well, you can tell. You saw me jack it into my veins. It is the Elite Adrenaline Suit. RFD visions on there. Flash protection visor. I just couldn't really get a good line on Taylor John by the time I finally did, and that was really a mark of inexperience by him. You know what? Somebody who's a little bit more seasoned as a player would have dropped down when he saw me unable to line up the shot. Would have dropped down and just sliced and diced, and I would have been done for. And if it had been Gunnut up there in them rafters, I would have been laying in a pool of my own blood right now, looking through a goddamn camera, wondering why I'm sitting in the afterlife. Yes. Anyway, where was I with my load? My kit rundown. I don't really do much here. Like I said, a bit of a slow start to things. Flash protection visor is on there. Armored gloves. My pocket pants. People, say it with me now. Say it with me. Proclaim the gospel of the pocket pants. Yes. I got my running shoes on there as well. Now, my pockets are filled, as usual, with my adrenaline suit with frag grenades and VX gas. Now, let's take a closer look at the ARX-160. I did want to try and do full weapon rundowns. That's something that was really lacking in the first, 30 or so episodes I did up here of the SvM content. So it's the red dot sight on there, the muzzle brake, the armor-piercing rounds, the weight balance, the match-grade trigger, and the accurized barrel. And you can see I catch Gunnut just hanging around out there. He was right on the money with things, though. He did get that flashbang down, was looking to save his own life there in the process. He was the guy pelting me and my teammate with a little bit of pistola fire from the side of that freight container. But eventually I got to him, I got to him. Put him down. Keeping him in check, keeping the guy keeping me in check. Yes, if that makes any checking sense. Yes. Anyway, confuse the audience. Check. Yes, there we go. Check. I can check that off my list. Yes, check. Anyway, Now, this is about the point where things start to pick up for me on this round. I do end up having, I did more killing as the Spy than I did as the Merc this round, you know? So, but I do start to go, I have a couple of really nice rampages. I think once I started to get a little bit too out of control, that was when the Gunnut had to step in and just, piss on my parade, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, he was the guy to kind of snuff my flame when it got a little bit too, when my little flame turned into a goddamn bonfire, burning Merc flesh, charring, I don't know where I'm going with that. We're just going to leave it alone. Anyway, they pick up the sack here in the B sector, and again, I'm pretty sure it's my teammates for the most part, that deal with this. So maybe I was lying a little bit. I did get a slow start to the Merc side of things, but you know what? My team was just doing the job better than I was. I was settling back in, especially coming into the B sector. I think sometimes if a full team of Mercs comes in looking for a spy or the hacker in a particular area, and they just keep running and everybody running around in circles, everybody's running, nobody's just kind of sitting back watching, somebody has to do that. Somebody has to watch for the spy, for the hacker, as they shift from position to position to avoid the Merc patrols, and that's what I was doing there in the B sector. Anyway, with that taste of Gunnut's blood, yes, so that just didn't sound right for a second. Anyway, with the taste of his blood behind me, again, that doesn't sound right either. Anyway, it does light a bit of a fire into my ass. It gets me rolling in the right direction here. What was lacking on the kind of the Merc side of things, the first couple of minutes of this round, the beast is unleashed. As you can see, I'm starting to just rip guys down, and with the adrenaline jacked in, I figure I'm going to get around this corner before he gets a chance to react, and that's precisely what happened. And I almost put down the other man that was rushing in there as well. I got Taylor John, however, and you can see the team, we're just playing this really, really well, keeping things on lockdown. Guys are taking down the spies at corners, keeping them from really being able to get anything set up, Anyway, the Gunnut, this kind of annoyed me a little bit because I had him all the way down to a sliver of health. 1 bar left. At this point, I just trapped him. I just waited. Eventually, he was going to try and I knew he was going to try and make his way to that upper level, and I was just waiting to see the, that sinister glow in his goggles, yes. And that was easy enough at that point in time. It was easy enough just to line up the shot. Anyway, there's a little bit of smoke down here. It looks like the Fisher has already dealt with the man who released them fumes. It was Taylor John, as he has fallen yet again to some Merc mutt. And the hack shut down really quickly here. I get a nice little long shot there. You see that. Nemesis kill and a long shot on the Gunnut, who was, I don't know what he was doing, posted up. I don't know what he was posted up on, but he was pretty well exposed there at range, way back there at the spawn. Anyway, you can see Invictus is obviously having a good run as the Merc as well. He's depleted all of his ammo. Myself, I don't have much left in there, much left in the clip, as I'm down to the pistol as well. 8 rounds left in my ARX 160, and we're just doing a fantastic job keeping things shut down here. Now, foolishly, I'm about to I'm about to fall here. As I see, I heard the fire coming from the C sector. I knew my man had fallen somewhere in there. I didn't realize Gunnut was right there at the door. And of course, I come in a few rounds short. My clip had been depleted. Had been emptied of a few rounds. And then when I finally got in there and started shooting at the nut, well, I got stuck in a reload, didn't I? Yes, I did. And he put me down and sent me packing. And as I said, every time I started to get the ball rolling as the Merc, he was in there, just shut me down. I had lost most of my ammo at that point, so my supplies had been depleted, so obviously I had been playing my part out there on the battlefield, so it was kind of nice in one regard. Now I'm back here, full clips on the hip, full clip in the gun, and we're looking to get down to business. And I'll tell you, there is one rampage I go on that's pretty slick here. I think it's coming up here shortly. Yeah, as we go moving in to the C sector here. Let's see, I think I take out the bulk of the team. And eventually, what I think it ends up being is that the Gunnut, he shuts me down, as he lacks to do. Now, I don't even know. I didn't even see the man I was shooting at there, but obviously there's a guy up there, as you can see. He's now popped up here on the RFD vision. And eventually, I put down the guest and send him packing. And again, I don't know. I think maybe he jumped the gun on that crossover, you know, when he went over the rafter, looking for the death from above. I think he did it a little prematurely there. I don't think he quite had range on me. And, of course, he took the risk. It just didn't pay off for him, you know. Now, right here we go. I'm tracking another man. Who is that? Is that Taylor John? I think it was probably Taylor John yet again, as I put him down, send him to the next life, and that was the hacker. So he's denied yet again. This, of course, is the Gunnut looking to, he's had some success on these corners. He's been really accurate with his fire. A little bit of good luck the last time I encountered him at a corner, because I only had the pistola. It was light in the clip as it was, and well, anyway, I put down the nut. I put down the explosive. That's the that's the entire team on my patrol there through the C sector, so I was quite pleased with that. And kind of the rampage did continue here as I put down guest one more time and Gunnut in there to shut it down before I could take it any further, you know. And with a beautiful death from above, it caught me completely off guard. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't hear him coming in, and those are the great kill. You know, when you get a kill like that as a spy, well, goddamn, it feels good even when you're on the receiving end of the blade. You know what I mean? Because you just know that he did it really well. It was a little bit of good luck that he spawned there and was right there to kind of drop down on me and avenge, well, what I had done to his entire team only moments before, right? Anyway, you can see we're coming down the final stretch here at this point. It looks like, well, victory will be ours. There's no real chance that they're going to be able to get... well, they could get one terminal, but there's no real chance that they're going to be able to get one terminal, plus what they need to snatch victory out of our grasp at this point, you know? We've just been, the team, a fantastic job here between the Fisher, and I think back to, you know, the Fisher when we were in there on the spy side of things, in that C sector. My God, that was such a great moment. I just like... It's rare, you know, you try and put stuff like that into effect where you're playing the distraction, where you're saving your hacking teammates' life against just terrible odds, you know, because they were all right in there. They were all moving in there like gangbusters, you know, at that point in time. There were 3 men coming around the corner on him. Had I not arrived onto the scene, I really don't think the Fisher would have survived it. He may have. Maybe I'm selling him short here, but those are some pretty big odds to overcome, you know. So the fact that I was able to go in there and really, you know, I think probably swing the situation in our favor. I think that was like the momentum boost we needed to kick off this round, you know. And we just carried it. We just carried it all the way through to the end. And I continue to do a little work out here in the A sector, putting down guests yet again. And with the hacker dispatched at this point, now out comes the toxic fumes of Hertz death. The VX gas comes out of the pockets and onto the battlefield, and we guard that terminal till the firewalls reestablish. And there we go. Yes, there we go. Game over. 183%, 47. A good effort, gentlemen. A good effort, nut. But you came up a little short there in the end, didn't you? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Anyway, let's take a look at some names and numbers. And I'm kind of smirked out, laughed out about the whole Gunnut situation down here. It's putting a smile on my face again, though, as I look at it. Those are some ridiculous numbers, Nut. Those are some ridiculous numbers. Anyway, let's look at mine first. The 3 defense, 33 and 8. Right below me, the Fisher. Still, I can't say enough about how he handled himself. Maintained his composure there in that C sector when he was under all that fire, you know, loved it. 14 and 15 for him. He brought in that one hack, the one and only hack we managed to get. Mayuda, right there below him, or Murder. I don't know what that name is supposed to be. Anyway, 1 defense for him. Nice numbers, 17 and 12, pretty solid. And Invictus Supreme, 3 defense for him. Even Steven, 11 and 11. Now, we'll look at the guy who apparently did the most out there the entire game, as he had, well, at least 56 encounters. 56 encounters throughout the course of that. Gunnut, how do you find that much time in the game, you know, to pull in numbers like that? I mean, the 28 is pretty solid. Well, which one, though? Which one? The 28 deaths or the 28 kills? Well, yes, the 28 kills is pretty solid, but I don't know how you can die 28 times in a game, man. I don't know how you find the time for it. That's what was making me laugh, because I don't know. I can't wrap my brain around it. Anyway, 56 encounters the man had across that game, at least. And I'm sure there were some he survived as well. 5 defense for him, so he was trying to keep us in check, but it just got, well... He just lost control of the situation, apparently. Taylor John, he really was my bread and butter, I think, for the most part. I remember just having quite a few encounters with him that were going my way, you know. So, as you can see, I mean, like I said at one point it was Team Hertz against Team Gunnut, and some fresh blood apparently in the game, some new blood, which is always nice to see. And I look forward. We'll have to see if they stick with it long enough and become more familiar names here on the channel. If they're always in there playing, getting into games, and they, raising the ranks up to the elite level. And we'll see how their game improves if we can get them in a few more rounds across the weeks to come. Anyway, people, as always, thanks for stopping by, tuning in, and checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll thumb it. I hope you'll be back for more. But until next time, remember why it hurts. Later.